Others say, no one ever came back from the other side to tell me about it. How do I know I ever lived before and will live afterwards? Which is right. But deep within the human breast is the idea that this is not the whole business. This is not the end. And that we will live again, and perhaps we lived before. But the main argument is, I don't remember it. How can I be expected to believe this business of reincarnation? That's right. But how much do you remember? How much does the ordinary person remember, even of this life? I don't remember anything. Sometimes I think I've lost my memory. Don't remember anything. But in the omniscience of God, you can know those things. So memory should not be and is not the deciding factor of this question, do we reincarnate? Memory is not the deciding factor. Because, as I have said, we cannot remember even in this life things that have passed not too long ago. But there are those, as the saints, who do remember, who remember what happens after death, remember entering into the new vehicle, and remember from then on being born again. Why? How do they do it? They don't lose the consciousness, the continuity of consciousness of the dreamer's consciousness, that's all. So just because we cannot do it, we shouldn't say it can't be done. Memory is not the test, not a fair test on this question, do we reincarnate? It is this one point, the fact that we cannot have that continuity of consciousness from one birth to another, that keeps us in delusion. Don't you see? That's the point that keeps us in the drama, in the darkness of the drama, the darkness of delusion. Why? Because God made it that way. So the drama would go on. God made it that way. And we have in the Bhagavad Gita statement just to that effect. In the seventh discourse, 27th line, we read as follows. All men walk the universe wholly deluded. Imagine it. Everyone is in delusion. Even the Master told me, when a liberated soul, as the saint takes a body, he takes on some delusion. What chance have we? All who walk this world, this universe, said Lord Krishna, are walking in delusion, walk in a deluded way, wholly deluded. So you can see God made it that way. He made it so that the continuity of consciousness would be broken. That keeps the drama going. If not, the drama would cease. Now, that doesn't mean that we can never get out. That's the important thing. Lord Krishna also said, and remember, Krishna was Jadava, the Krishna, King Jadava, who had Christ consciousness. He said, all men walk the world wholly deluded. He also said, the next line or two, get out of my delusion. Get out of my Maya. Get out of this idea that the drama of life is the reality. Get out of my delusion. So we can get out of it. Why? We're made in the image of God. That's why. We can get out of this duality of consciousness of this dream, merge in the one eternal consciousness of God, that of the dreamer. Then we'll know not only this life, previous lives, but the lives of all. So that is the answer to the question, do we reincarnate? Now let us go on further to the points favoring reincarnation. These are the ones I'm interested in more than that other, because my memory it doesn't act very well at times. I'm sure you all feel the same. In fact, I don't want it to act very well. I don't want to remember many things. But there are certain positive points about reincarnation which are worth remembering, and here they are. We have first the testimony of the saints. That's very important. There are certain characters in this life of ours which set the example, which give us the inspiration, and they are the saints. They're great ones. Now let us consider first the testimony of the saints. And we have, in the fourth discourse in the Bhagavad Gita, the fifth line, Lord Krishna speaking again. Now he says he was talking to Arjuna. Arjuna complained like you and I might complain. I don't remember anything about previous life. So, Lord Krishna says, many births have been left behind by me and by thee, O Arjuna. I know them all, said Lord Krishna, but thou knowest not thine. So there's the answer. Lord Krishna was the incarnation of God's omniscient consciousness. So he said, many births have passed between both of us. I remember mine, you do not remember yours. So there was one saint who did remember. Why? Because he was one with the dreamer's consciousness. And just like in your own dream, you can create your dream and you can remember your dream if you put your mind on it, so to speak. You can remember every character of that dream. So, in God's omniscient consciousness, everything is there. Every incarnation that ever was. People say, oh, we pass in the omniscience of God into nirvana without any identification of individuality. That's not so. Just as you can remember your dream, so every dream in God's omniscience can be remembered. Don't you think we're going to meet those people we loved and we lived with? As the Master said, almost every one of us have been related. Imagine it. Perhaps you were my wife and I was your husband. Who knows what went on? It's all in the omniscience of God. If you want to know all about it, know his omniscience. Know his consciousness.